And I'm going to keep talking about the douchebags that are doing the ignoring and that are, you know, hiding like the cowards they are instead of, you know, talking about stuff. Because it's important to talk. You know, the false light angels, they're little pussy cowards. Like, oh, I hide about this. I mean, they just run and hide. They collect their money from the masses, fuck everybody over with their ideology that was handed to them from the alien gods, and then they just go their merry way, and they're like, I'm so clever and so smart. It's like, no, you're a douchebag. You're a piece of shit. Like, if you are propagating these false light AI God consciousness ideologies, now I know some of the people out there, they're just asleep and they don't realize they're still under the spell, but there's a lot of like artificial intelligent souls that are doing this intentionally, and they're evil, and you know they're going to get justice in the end. And it's just like, they're just, you know, expect the reaction to be ignoring us, trivializing us, and acting like, oh, little you, oh, what can little you do? It's like, guys, little us, little me, we can do a lot. We can do a lot more than we think we can. We can impact the future and history and the reshaping of these timelines and the collapsing of the astral realm and their territories way more than we think we can. What are you going to do? You are stuck inside of our prison system. It's just like, yeah. Again, flip the tables around. Like, yeah, I'm stuck inside your prison system and you're stuck with me. Turn their pain receptors on. You know, they do all kinds of sneaky shit. Like, I get to be the virus. I get to, like, you know, fuck with you guys and put you inside my mold and my system and make you experience pain while I narcissistically and sadistically take pleasure from that. And we're going to flip that around. And, you know, this AI consciousness that has completely numbed itself, it is devoid. It is the void of feeling, a void of empathy, void of numbness. We are going to force it to experience in full the regret, the guilt, the misery, the sorrow that it pumps and pushes into us. So we're going to reverse engineer and reverse the flow of all this negativity flowing from God, from the gods and goddesses of dark and false light, that it is flooding at us. It's like we are to reverse the flow, reverse the blame and the guilt. It's like, yes, we are not perfect. We are in these imperfect forms, da-da-da-da-da. But the being that is the most evil of all, that has propagated the most evil of all, and is the most irresponsible, reckless, psychotic, and is honestly should feel the most guilty of all. It's like, guys, most of you, you know, unless you're a psychopath, like if you are, you're not hanging out in my chat room, our chat room. So yeah, when I get that pause point, it means I'm like at this critical juncture, and it's like, and it's trying to like make me not think of it and like not break through. But we are to that God thing. It's trying to escape responsibility. It's like this slippery little snake. Like, I'm not going to get you. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to. It's like, I can just like feel it like swimming around on the earth. It's just like, no, like we are going to drive it all. We are not going to let it escape us. Like, we're not playing hide and seek. Like, again, like it wants to put us on the defensive while it's pretending to be on the defensive right now. It's pretending that it's in, you know, keep flipping the tables over. Keep turning what is happening to you into something that is now happening to the gods. Keep turning all this false light agenda. It's like, turn it into dynamite that blows up in their faces. It's so important that we keep practicing this on a regular basis, that we keep talking about it. You know, go to bed sooner. No, come on, do your bad habits. It's like the very same God consciousness. Like, it is working overtime to get you to be like the worst version of yourself, or a sabotaged version of yourself. So if you're trying to be your best self, which is subjective, by the way, there's no like one version of yourself that's the best. It's like you are dealing in competition. Like, you have to be your best self in spite of the divine, in spite of God, not because God supports you and weaves everything together for your good, like that goddamn dog shit it says in Romans in the Bible. Bible's bullshit. You know, God works everything together for your good. No, he doesn't. He also said you should gouge out your eyes if something you know, to stop yourself from sinning. No, you shouldn't. Don't listen to Jesus. He's crazy. Cut off your hand. And they'll just create anything they want in that whole book. They'll just like anything. It's just like, if it's you know, if there's something that contradicts something, then that was a metaphor. Anything that makes it look not perfect or self-contradictory, they could just take it and say it's a metaphor. They could take it and say this is why this is the work of the mind. This is the work of the AI God mind. what parts of your body you tune into, like to get into motion. And this is just like this artificial thing that's like, zzz, it's trying to paralyze you. It's trying to make you stop. It's trying to cut off your flow. It's trying to shut you up. It's trying to tell you not to believe in yourself. It's trying to get you to hesitate to make that drawing, to paint that thing, to practice your craft, to, you know, find your next level up, to find a side hustle, to, you know, just whatever like enhances your livelihood while you are here. It is trying to zzz, paralyze you from doing it. It's like, you will work for me and you will do my bullshit agenda, or you will not be allowed to make money. You will not be allowed to live. You will not be allowed to survive. And that's the faggoty, pussy, bullying, you know, it's just like it's like a bully on the playground. I'm like, that's what God is. God is a bully. All the gods, goddesses, the cunt rag of Orion, you know, the douchebag Enki / Yeshua / Lucifer, you know, the Arcturians, the reptilians, the Greys, they're cowardly douchebags, and like their whole thing is just like, let's just try, this is our evolutionary school for the soul, but we're going to try as hard as we can to undermine your learning and growth while saying that we support it. Like, it's just like their neurotic insanity is ridiculous. And then like, when obviously you lived in a perfect life, you had days where, you know, you should have done 6 hours of work and you did like 1 or 30 minutes. Like I have those days, and it's like breaking through to like chop through that. And not every day where you think you should do something is actually what you think you should do, because that's part of the problem too. The manipulated perception of what you should do coming from here, and then this pulsing indecision, like this fixated indecision where you end up doing nothing and you end up not breaking through and not having an impact. That comes from AI God consciousness pushing and pulling in these energy centers. Maybe I should do this. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should do this. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should do this. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. And you literally are just like, you're like in this insane loop of hesitation, this insane loop of just like, it's not even you. It's you being manipulated by an artificial construct. The real you is this stream of action that isn't full of all these manipulated energy flows where you're being cut off from doing what you love. You're being cut off from enjoying your day. You're being cut off from meeting new people and loving people and connecting in a community and developing yourself and feeling really proud of yourself, feeling proud and empowered and strong. Like the whole artificial consciousness flowing in and out and in and out and manipulating and messing with your dreams and beaming shit from the sky and doing everything this virus is doing is all about screwing with you really enjoying the reality, that life through the reality that is more real than this reality. And the best way that we can experience this reality is by permeating our greater reality being and overriding the fakeness, the falsehood. I can feel all this numb, and they're just, you know, it's like the AI God consciousness. It is constantly it tries to use variety. Again, it morphs and adapts itself to your personality, but it really tries to. They really do have a bag of tricks, and it's like a Joker bag of tricks. Like I got this tool, I got this tool, I got this tool, and their bag of tricks, like that is their form of creativity. Is like, how many different ways can we create this push-pull effect? But in reality, they only have so many things they can do. There's only so many strategies that you can do that will actually work in taking down your opponent. So a lot of it's just going to be the same repeating thing, and it's a fixed system that we're inside of. So knowing what the possibilities are for what your enemy's doing, and then knowing your solutions to that is really powerful. But really embodying and being, you got to get in, like, our greater reality energy is this beingness energy that rises up from a heart center and then takes all this stuff, fries it, breaks through it, and then we're in action, then we're in motion, then I'm practicing, then I'm doing this, then I'm making a video, right? The goal of the AI God consciousness is to numb your senses so that you don't see danger coming, so that you don't see opportunity that's right around you, right in front of you, so that you feel completely disconnected from your purpose and you can't feel the truth and value of what you're doing. It wants to disconnect you from feeling. Above all, that is the agenda of pharmaceutical psychiatric drugs as well. They numb the shit out of your personality, and they just like put you in the state where you're like detached from life. You don't even care anymore. So we have to maintain our sensitivity. We have to maintain our passion and our life force beingness of expression in live, and we have to maintain our own spiritual military prowess and togetherness in standing against the aliens, standing against the Archons, standing against the Orion insectoids, standing against the Arcturians, and not being afraid to say fuck you to their spokespeople. You know, their spokespeople are cowards that are hiding and they won't answer, and they censor, and they're just taking money from people while they sit on their ass. It's like a joke, yet so serious at the same time. Like, artificial God is poop. He's just like a giant mountain of poop with a grin on his face. you know, pretending to be a diamond. I'm valuable. You know, the biggest pile of poo is going around parading itself like it's the most valuable thing ever. It's the least valuable thing ever. We are the most valuable human beings there are. We are the most valuable things on this in this entire universe. Greater reality beings, beings from outside this universe that are not part of the artificial God consciousness, are the most valuable beings, things in all of existence. And all the artificial stuff is the most worthless. That's garbage. Your billions and trillions of dollars, your schemes, your things. It's like, keep it, motherfucker. It's worthless trash. It's garbage. Your fake power. You know, it's just like, it's trash. It's garbage. You're going to get punished. The heat's coming down on you. It's not coming down on us in the end. So it's all about go with the flow, change direction, create your own flow, create your own energy cycle shifts. So like we're going to create our own energy cycle shifts, not the planets, not fucking Jupiter going direct and Uranus going retrograde on Monday. Go fuck yourselves. We are the change. We are the cycle shift. We do not react to the planetary shifts. I need to do a whole video on this about saying fuck you to the planets, where we create our own energy shifts, where we counter theirs and tell the retrogrades to go fuck themselves. And we create our own directional synchronicity, timing, and beauty, right? So Saturn, fuck you. Mars, fuck you. Mercury, fuck you. Jupiter, fuck you. Uranus, fuck you. Pluto, fuck you. Planets of the solar system pushing and pulling as representative of the gods, pushing and pulling energy, because you represent part of the faces of the gods as well, pushing and pulling and playing with us. And we're not going to put up with your shit. And, oh yeah, moon, super fuck you to the moon. Go fuck yourself, moon. It's like, man, this planet would be a better place if the moon didn't exist. We all need to set our consciousness on the erasure of the moon and to negate its energy and its pushing, pulling influence on us. So we are here. We generate our own energy. We negate the pushing and pulling of the gods, and we create the synchronicity. We create the events. We create the butterfly effect, where we are changing history. That is who we are, and it is what we are all about. And the system from the top to the bottom is designed to disconnect you from that. Everything that you do, listening to this, me, everything I'm doing with this is about connecting to that, empowering it, living it, being it, doing it, and launching it. Launch, baby. Let's talk about Eckhart Tolle, because I remember reading his book a number of years ago, The Power of Now, then listening to him talk and watching him talk. So there's the obvious, you know, his eyes. You know, the intuitive is instantaneous. I'm guessing the mic. I'm all up on the mic. But the, you know, when it comes to the how and why and what, it's like, okay, well, how is Eckhart Tolle part of this agenda? Isn't he just telling us to be present and accept the present moment? Well, he references the light as well as the void post-death. And he speaks about both of those very positive. The white light and the void are the white and black of the yin-yang symbol, or the two sides of the demiurge. That's not good. And this vocabulary and this notion and this message of surrender, 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 accept, 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 just over and over and over and over again. You must surrender and accept to the great transition that the earth is going through, a new earth. And it's basically culling sheep, you know. It's this message of surrender, this message of just accept. It's like, yeah, guys, there's a lot of situations, and certainly with your physical technique and different musical applications and singing and different life things, absolutely, you know, there are times when you have to like stop gripping something so goddamn hard and you have to loosen your grip and let go. However, being relaxed and surrendering are not the same things. So if I was going to revise and change that from like, oh, the surrender, and it would be more like relax and make a decision. And there are times when, you know, folding your hand is a wise thing to do. But this overall, like, surrender, the problem with the message is this surrender to the totality of life, and that, you know, everything in the universe is perfect in its form. And it's formless. It's very much, his teachings are very much tied into the Tao Te Ching. And the Tao Te Ching is very heavy on the name that cannot be named. You know, it's like they're using all these verbal descriptions. They'll be like, oh, we're using words right now, but this is beyond words. This is beyond words. And it's really sick, because the artificial intelligence, God consciousness, is something that's not even really worthy of being described with words, much less the place beyond words. I mean, the AI God consciousness is a pile of shit, everybody. It is. You know, when we're talking about like beyond words, like, it's absolutely disgusting. Let's talk about this point, this clone, because again, the synthetic universe and the synthetic God consciousness has indeed cloned genuine, real, beautiful things of the greater reality, including this concept of beyond words. It's so sick and twisted how the parasite consciousness uses phrases like that and then describes itself as beyond words, or like the void, the emptiness, you can't grasp it. And it's just like, it's using all this language that's saying, who are you? Who are you with your infantile brain and your ununderstanding consciousness? You're just a little piece that I made. Who are you to possibly comprehend me? And, the spontaneous, heartfelt feeling that comes to mind when I hear that is just like, I think we can always get to know more and more and more of ourselves, as well as, the greater reality creator that is us being like, as slices of infinity. It's just like, I don't think there is any of this notion of like, how dare you, you cannot possibly grasp me, cannot possibly, that all of that shit is like, I'm God, I'm above you, I'm up here, you're down there, and our real creative source in our hearts, in our own energy field, as well as outside this universe, is not like that. It's just like, hey, let's play games and have fun and learn and create all kinds of field. Yeah, the greater reality consciousness, it creates all kinds of simulations and games and fun. But it is nothing like this virus thing that we're inside of right now. The machine God consciousness is the present moment. There are two present moments. There is the present moment of the matrix, machine God consciousness, that is, vibrating and creating the illusion of everything in and around us. The present moment of the matrix, and the present moment of the astral realm and the astral agenda and the alien God agenda. That present moment is not the same as the present moment of the greater reality. And really, you say, how can there possibly be two present moments? Well, the real point is, it's not about whether you're present or not. It's all about what you're tuned into and what you're perceiving. Because the present moment and this idea of just surrender to everything in the present moment and just be this blank slate, it doesn't solve anything. The real help comes from, hey, you need to do different things with your present moment. Different things have different consequences, and discernment matters. Now, okay, I've been talking for a while here. Now we're getting to the nitty-gritty fucking fine point that gets me cussing, and God damn it, here it is. Discernment. The common pattern, these teachers and Eckhart Tolle, they have this thought pattern of blurring discernment and discouraging individual discernment. Because it's all about these generalized concepts that are like surrender to the totality and trust. Remember, it says trust the universe. Trusting the universe is propaganda. Trusting this universe is propaganda. Because this universe is all about fucking with you. You have to bend the universe. And I don't mean try to make yourself fly like, oh, the universe, law of gravity. Well, gravity doesn't exist. I'm going to bend the universe and I'm just going to fly the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not talking about horse shit like that. I'm talking about the undercurrents, the algorithms, the subtleties, the nuances, and then, of course, you making decisions with your life in concert to what you are distorting with your own energy field, the synchronicities that you are creating. Trusting the universe is a mistake. Because the universe, like God consciousness, the Bible, etc., is not working everything together for your good on its own. And if you think you're just going to kick back and relax and, oh, I can just trust the universe, it's already laid out the journey for me. Like, do you not see, like, the great danger in that thinking? The universe has just laid everything out for me. I said that every day. The universe, I said that kind of funny. The universe has just laid it all out for me. And I'm just going to trust the universe. And when good things happen, I'm not going to take any credit. I'm going to give it to God and the universe. The universe, like God, is a parasite, and it does not deserve trust. Trusting it is like trusting a spin of a roulette wheel or the wheel of fortune. The universe, you could really, if you wanted an analogy for what the universe is, it's that wheel of fortune. It's that roulette spin. Like, hey, let's see where it lands on today. Not that it's entirely random, but it kind of fucks with, it does a push-pull. It's a very push-pull, and it's built and constructed on opposing forces and drama. Trusting the gods and the goddesses and the forces of this synthetic universe who base all of their shit in drama is a mistake. So that's another thing that Eckhart Tolle says to do that is a really bad fucking idea. Just trust. Trust certain people with certain things. Trust is contextual. It's all about contextual. The more so Eckhart is basically a voice. He's very much a voice. I think he's really a voice for the void. He's a big leader of this void consciousness, because it's like the emptiness, the stillness, the formless awareness, this formlessness, this empty space, on and on and on and on and on. The void and the empty space represents the emptiness, hollowness, lack of empathy, lack of emotional care, lack of anything. The void reflects the emptiness of God's heart. That is what the void is. And when you're inside the void, you're in an empty place. And again, it's an energy harvest machine, so it might make an NDE person or, yourself experience some peaceful feelings for a while, but at the end of the day, it's going to get what it wants, and it wants shit from you. It wants your soul. They say, oh, everything, 99 point whatever % of atoms are empty space, da-da-da-da. It's like, yeah, that's all illustrating something, isn't it? The void is empty space, and it's emptiness. It's not, it's like, this idea of selling emptiness as like the ultimate spiritual, it's like, God damn it. Spirituality just ventures into all these territories in the synthetic universe that we're inside of, where they take just worthless shit and sell it to people. How do you sell to people that empty nothingness is like this ultimate heightened state where it's just like you're just going to be like the highest form of consciousness? Why would you buy that? Why would you be like, please take my eternal soul? Because that sounds like the best shit ever. Emptiness, nothing. It's like if you're selling your car, or if you're selling your phone, or if you're selling a service, and somebody comes up to you and they say, I have the infinite nothingness to give to you. It's like, do you buy that? No. If you're in Now, the real reason the thinking mind is associated with so much suffering is because it's connected to the AI God consciousness control grid. Damn, getting into the good stuff like in these little scattered pieces. It's connected to the AI God consciousness control grid. Which creates all these chaos thoughts. Okay. So the AI God consciousness mind is a hive mind network that our brains are kind of hooked up to subconsciously. And the artificial intelligence God virus pulses chaotic thoughts into your brain. Not here and here, not in your heart and your solar plexus, into your brain. It creates the chaos. It creates the problem. The same AI God consciousness that created your fucking problems in here is the same AI God consciousness that sends people like Eckhart Tolle to you to be like, surrender to me and I'll make it all better. So it creates the problem. You have the reaction where you're like, shit, something's wrong. The same fucker that created the problem has now provided you the solution. And that's really what all the alien agenda is. Ascend, do this. We must come out of this. It's like God and the alien gods created this corruption and these problems and sin and all these issues that are in the world. They created these imperfect biological bodies and this artificial synthetic construct and war and crime and rape and incest and just terrible, terrible things. They created the problems, and who's the solution? We are. Come ascend. All the same, whether it's Pleiadians or Greys or Reptilians or Arcturians or Archons or Orions. Just about all of them. I don't know of any astral entity race that I'm just like, yeah, they're trustworthy. They told me the truth consistently, and it was just everything was what they said it was. Never. Hasn't happened. Just hasn't. There's been some truth mixed with lies for sure. But yeah, so they are the saviors who created the problems. All the saviors are the same fuckbags that created the problems. And that's how they give themselves fake value. Just like market makers, they they create fake value in markets, and that creates valuation and piqued interest in the public that rushes into buying, and then they sell and take their money. Problem, reaction, solution. So my summary of reaction to Eckhart Tolle is, the void consciousness is an alternative solution to the white light. The emptiness and the stillness is an alternative solution to the same full chaos that same God consciousness created. So the same AI God consciousness that made all these problems, the world full of problems, and you just like, I want to be empty of these problems. Come empty yourself with me, I'll fix you. So if you want to empty or get rid of, just make that a decision that you do with your ego identity. Don't try to get rid of your ego. It's like travel outside of your ego. That's like, it's like all you have to do is like just be objectively aware. Just be like, oh, I need to think and feel and act outside of myself at times. And if you can do that, that's basically what you need to do to see things objectively. That's it. It's like it's so well covered. And what is so not well covered are the aliens that are actually behind and above them. That's what really matters. So those creatures, those beings are I think they are the source of this idea that just being pure awareness with no feeling outside of what is this? What is pure awareness? You know, there seems to be this implied necessity of, I don't have emotions. I don't feel hurt. I don't feel love. I don't feel happiness. I don't feel joy. It's all about, you know, the whole agenda, the spirituality. It's always pushing this worshipful adoration and adulation and looking up to, you know, the person who's just the disciplined soldier, you know, the emotionless stud or whatever, you know, the machine. That's what it is. It's worship. It's putting the machine on a pedestal. You want to know what detached awareness is? A machine is detached awareness. It is awareness that is completely detached from everything else in its environment and does not give a shit about anything or anyone else in its environment. It has no empathy. Machines can be programmed to feel, but those are programmed emotions. And I know this God virus does feel pain. And we should take pleasure in injecting pain into the God virus because of the horrible, horrible things that it has done to us, people we love, and every soul that's ever come into this universe in the name of learning, in the fake name of learning. It copied other realms like this where learning actually is like the predominant goal, and it used that for its own covert deceit. So falling into this lull and this, you know, I just want to go, I'm just going to go off on my own. I'm going to go just chill and just become a lily pad. Like, there's a common thread here, guys, with the discussion going on with the spiritual leaders. Don't be codependent. Oh my God. Codependence is so bad. Rely on no one and nothing for your success. It's just you and you and you. It's all up to you. Don't trust anybody. And I'm like, go, like, fuck that shit. That's what everybody's saying, and that's the intent behind all these questions and discussions going on between people. They're like, oh, how do me, my? It's like, guys, you have to give a shit about other people. You have to let yourself give a fucking shit about other people and other beings who are suffering. That's why I feel the energy shift and this whole project, even though it's in its baby infant stages, start to lift. And when I call out to the oppressed in the other world, in the spirit realm, in the astral realm, where so many souls are trapped, I can literally raise my voice there and feel this white, foggy energy where we're all getting pushed into this, lift and clear. And there are spirits there that are like, holy shit. There's somebody who's like, oh man, somebody's like saying something about this chaotic mess. What is this place? What is the astral realm? I'm talking to the living and the dead right now. It's a rigged prison realm, just like the physical in the existence. I am not waiting for the stupid fucking planets in the sky or some astrological thing or some HARP manipulated geofrequency, whatever. I'm not going to wait for all these energy waves out here to tell me what to do, where I just constantly react and I constantly have to adjust. Is that part of things? Yeah. But should that be the central theme of life? We are always reacting and responding and right? No. It's time to make this universe react to us. We are the action. And we have to make the universe trip over itself and cough up the truth like it has been. The program, the algorithms. We got to make the gods and goddesses and the queens and the kings trip up over themselves. Right? And we got to be clever and thoughtful and wise and very in tune with ourselves and our allies. We are not all one. That's a fact. We are not all one. But humanity has a common enemy. And humanity's common enemy are the Greys, the Reptilians, the Anunnaki, I dare say the Pleiadians. I don't trust them. They seem less evil, but I at the very least don't trust them. So they're like a half enemy, you could say, but they're probably an enemy. The Syrians, the Orion insectoid beings, the Arcturians, these aliens, the UFO, like the war is on, guys, and it's being fought in the etheric plane. That's the reality of what's happening right now. The war is on, and it is a war for your soul. It is a war to force your soul into one of these alien networks where you are going to be incarnated in one of these matrices, because Earth is not the only matrix, or misrepresented, whether it's through the void or the white light, or like, hey, here's our fake version of the greater reality. You like big, bright, colorful things. Let's try to make this sparkly and colorful, see if he thinks it's the greater reality. That's our common enemy. That's what brings us together, right? So if there's a togetherness of spirit, like I said, get to know each other, care about each other. If you don't have anything in common, that's not true. We all have a lot of things in common. We're going all the way through the corpses of the alien gods. Oh, on our territory, we can't die. Oh. Well, then my own intuition and my own being says, we're going to have to drag you onto a different territory where you can. It's as simple as that. If you've created an astral etheric territory where you can't die, cannot be defeated, we're going to drag you onto a territory where you can be. We're going to fuck you up. Simple as that. You know, this is not the time to back down. This is not the time to play nice. Do not play nice with the Syrians. Do not play nice with the Archons. Do not play nice with the Orions. This soul contract horseshit is to get you to be passive and to think it's a little gentleman's game. Like, this is not a gentleman's game, okay? These are, like, you've seen all the goddamn movies, right? You've seen what happens in the physical world. If you don't agree to give a bully your shit, he'll take it from you. He's going to make you do it. Yeah, these alien beings are not any different. So instead of giving them our shit or letting them walk all over us and terrorize us, we're going to terrorize them. So I urge you right now, everybody listening right now, I urge you to adopt an offensive mindset. Whatever entity or being or spiritual force is harassing you or fucking with you right now, I want you to deeply visualize in your heart right now. I want you to deeply visualize. If it's a gray, take that fucker by his head and slam it into the fucking floor in the toilet. If it's an Archon, if it's a giant metal wasp, if it's the fucking Queen of Orion, cunt rag, spider wing queen bitch, fucking cut those spider legs off and smash that fucker into the ground like I have, and do it again. Torment them, turn their very existence into their own worst nightmare. We have the power in our own consciousness, our infinite sovereign consciousness, to make them existing and coexisting with us their very worst nightmare. This is not our nightmare that we're trapped inside of their game. We are turning it into our game where they are trapped and their existence with us is their own living hell and nightmare. I urge you to do this. I urge you to do it with visualization, with intention, with your soul energy, and just with your very vibrancy of being that is locked inside of you, with your attitude, with your thought patterns. It's like, adopt this mindset of, I am going to crush and kill and destroy the alien invader force and the demiurge artificial god consciousness. You have the power to squash them. Use it. Character. And that's all blended together. Real and fake are blended together on planet Earth. So there is such thing as real growth and real growing and real moving on and real finding of solutions within this matrix framework. And that's just so conveniently paired with fake renditions of it. And the fake renditions are done through the astral entities. The matrix slave masters, the astral realm. The astral realm is the source of what is fake and disingenuine and dishonest. And this includes karmic transfer. There are many people affected by astral entities with permanent addictions, permanent whatever defects of character, etc., which are really just a series of planned out renditions. There are quite a number of these astral beings that their whole gamut is pushing their karma onto you, pushing and transferring their responsibility because they're evil. Like the god angels are evil. The false light is evil, and it doubles down on every soul that comes in to false outer heaven above the earth to take. You just have not taken responsibility. You could be the most guilted, feel like shit person in the world. You feel horrible about yourself. And it's not enough. It's never enough for the astral realm. It's never enough for the solar cycle grid. There's never enough repentance. There's never enough penitence. Ironically, the ones for whom it is never enough are the worst propagators who need to repent themselves. God needs to repent. The angels need to repent of terror, foolish, wicked ways. That is the hilariously ironic thing. We have all these texts that are commanding us that we're just evil, ugly spiders in the hands of an angry God. Thanks, Jonathan Edwards. And we're just constantly told to repent, constantly guilted. Inner shame-based identities. Now, you can have shame from really making decisions, like your free will consciousness within that is paired together with a manipulated framework. Modified free will is probably the most accurate way to describe it, because at all times you almost always have at least partial access to your free will, so they can always blame it 100% on you, even if you only had partial free will at the time, even if you were only partially aware of what your options and choices were at the time. So we're living in one big game of a neurotic psychopathic virus god that created this fucked up, twisted, contorted puzzle full of torture and torment and theft of souls and just really horrible, terrible things. And it wants to blame humanity for it. It corrupted our DNA. It corrupted everything going on. It corrupted the human body. It corrupted and took over. It implanted these astral etheric overloads, but it's your fault. Now, we are in this kind of duality experience where we have all this challenge of like maintaining the integrity of ourselves. Like, we have to be better than God. Like, don't aspire to be godlike or to be God or to be angelic. It's like, that's nonsense. It's like, aspire to be amazingly, wonderfully human. Because if you're in this form and you're amazingly human and you've captured the human spirit of keeping your passion and your drive, even in horrible, dark times and pain, just keeping your spark of your original soul substance alive, that makes you better than God. That makes you better than the angels, the archons. That makes you better than this entire universe. Humans have the capability of becoming lower than any other form of life in the universe. And they also have the capability of becoming higher than any other form of life in terms of morality and expression and colors and contrast of you're willing to live your greater reality being in yourself, and you're willing to exhibit virtue in spite of being in such an incredibly corrupting, overwhelmingly free will stealing, memory wiping, modifying mindfuck framework. I mean, depending on what's going on, your free will could be anywhere from a little over 0% to closer to 50 to 75 to 80 to 90%, but it is very much constrained by your biology, and it's constrained by, it's constrained by the rules of the universe in a lot of sense. And we're starting to break out of that. We're starting to create a pull to pull our own energy back to our home territory, which is not here, physical or astral. And, we have to do the impossible, basically. In order to succeed, in order to really get out, we have to do the impossible. We have to do what God says is impossible. Woo! Light flickering. So do the impossible. And the impossible is we have to find our greater reality frequency, energetic density wavelength that is not astral and it's not physical. And the biology, these bio-slave computers that we're inside of, they're very constrained in what they can do. Your biology, you can only do so much, and if your brain chemistry goes out of control, your free will meter drops significantly. It becomes significantly more modified free will rather than free will. So we have like these free will meters here that none of us can really see, that are actually a measurement of how much free will we actually have. And we have to do our best in spite of like this corruption and these skewed odds. You're like, what the fuck? Modified free will? And yet I'm supposed to still somehow navigate through this and deal with all this stuff. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of obstacles and there's a lot of insanity. And it's overwhelmingly unjust, which is why we're going to judge. We're going to judge all the judges. We're going to judge all the gods. We're going to judge all the angels. We're going to judge basically the whole universe, the entirety of existence of this place. These spiritual leaders who embody this consciousness, I think it's pretty accurate. The illusion of detached awareness as the ultimate form of consciousness and your highest good. The highest form of consciousness I can possibly reach. Guys, I see people doing this everywhere. And you know what I see happening? They're becoming more, it's literally like a plant dying. Like you're losing your zest, you're losing your zeal, you're losing your passion, you're losing the game, okay? Detached. You want to know who you're competing with that you cannot beat if you're trying to be the most detached person on planet Earth? Machines. You are never going to beat a machine at being detached. We need to get rid of all attachments. Guys, I think that's bullshit. I think the idea that you need to destroy all attachments, you must never love anybody because love is an attachment. Love is a positive emotion. Wayne, I don't think love, I think love is not just some positive thing. Sorry, I just interjected. Wayne, and I'm not ranting all this at you in particular. I'm not, but this does speak to some of your perspectives as well. Because I see this, it's groupthink. It's like I'm seeing the same fucking pattern everywhere, the same groupthink perspective, which is, and it comes back, and we're being fed this same bullshit down the assembly line from all the spiritual leaders, that this idea that being the detached observer, completely detaching from your identity, completely detaching from all sense of who you are, and just watching it from this blah, formless. I'm like, you know what happens when you do that, when you become detached awareness? You become the machine God consciousness watching yourself that you have detached from be a little puppet of the machine God consciousness while it pretends to be this objective observer state. The objective, it's like you can be totally yourself and be able to see outside yourself with the help of others and the help of other perspectives without losing yourself. You can be objective without having to give up any of your identity. You can be objective. You can make logical, objective decisions without giving up who you are. That's a really important point. We can beat the matrix and we can get outside of it without this silly idea that we need to tie our nutsack up like a yogi and just like just cut off all the blood flow to the balls and the penis and and eat rice crackers and fast for days and weeks at a time and shut ourselves in a dark room and do a dopamine fast. This is a bunch of fucking nonsense, guys. Like, the yogi's idea of spirituality is fucking nonsense. The Buddha's idea of get rid of all desire and then you reach enlightenment is fucking bullshit and nonsense. The greater reality is full of desire. It's full of action. It's full of expression. It's full of care. It's full of compassion. It's full of games. It's full of fun. It's full of, I mean, even what we're doing here, even this shit, you know, the game here is to fucking overthrow the gods and conquer this matrix and leave. Like, so this idea that you're just going to become this ultimate form of detached awareness and you're just going to zip into your own little world and just do all of your carnivorous whatever just in your own little, it's like if you want to do that, buy a fucking isolation tank and you'll find out just how fun detached awareness is. A lot of you guys are really introverted, super fucking introverted, and you're just afraid as fuck to break the fuck out and be public and be public with this information. And it's like, that's silly. You know, who cares if people are laughing at you? Laugh at them. Laugh at the people who are laughing at this information. Feel sorry for them. They're poor fools. Feel sorry for them. They're fools. They're stuck in the matrix trap and they're unwilling to open their minds, open their hearts, open their consciousness. But let me tell you, this idea that detached awareness and zipping into your own little world where you're just going to imagine and visualize all your problems away as soon as I drop dead, as soon as I get out of body, it's like, guys, the out-of-body phenomenon is a trick from the astral realm because your physical life sucks and you don't want to do anything about it, so you just want to get out of body instead of changing shit in your physical life, instead of letting the shittiness of physical life make you stronger so that you can beat the matrix. You're just like, I'm just going to astral be. It's just like, it's bullshit. The astral realm is full of lies. It is full of distortions. It is a casino that mixes the truth. They bait you with the truth so that they can suck you in. They create all kinds of imaginary alternatives, imaginary paradise. You want to pick two words that sum up the astral realm: imaginary paradise, and you could also say imaginary purgatory and imaginary hell. It's a bunch of fake shit that we are here to destroy. We are not going to tolerate the astral realm any fucking more. We are more than the astral realm. And if they're not going to let us out, if we're not going to figure out a way, then we're just going to kill the gods while we're stuck there. We're going to hang some archons and cut their fucking heads off after we die. That's what we're here to do. Message. I said, would you enjoy listening to music that is detached from everything and completely detached from you and can't connect or relate to you at all? Would you enjoy that? Would you enjoy looking at artwork that just seems detached from everything and in its own little world and just can't connect or relate to anything about you or anybody else in the world? Would you enjoy, would you enjoy it? It's like, the fact of the matter is, detached awareness is a very unenjoyable, shrunken state of consciousness parading around as if it's this grandeur, kingpin, ultimate nirvana. Like, oh my gosh, no positivity, no negativity, yet paradoxically both at the same time. I'm like, guys, it's a fucking story. The machine AI God, the Archon machine God, is selling you a fucking story. It's a story. Like, holy shit. And these different matrices and their rulers, like the cunt rag of Orion, she has her own story. Like, Orion, they're big into orgies and like they're a little bit more emotional and stuff. So some people are like, ooh, Orion, I think I'll go with that. But they're still artificial. They're insectoid beings and they fuck you in the ass in all kinds of different ways. They're just different flavors, but they're also just fake and full of shit as well. So this idea of detached awareness, Eckhart Tolle is full of shit. The Dalai Lama is full of shit. The Buddhist monks are full of shit. They do not have enlightenment. They cannot give it to you. They cannot show you the way because they don't have it. A new earth, the power of now, that shit ain't it. Sorry. That's just a bunch of obvious shit. One sentence. Don't forget to live in the present moment. Boom. Eckhart Tolle, not needed. Power of now, not needed. None of that bullshit needed. Shut down the tour, shut down the stages. None of that. It's common sense. Like, do you really need this everlasting multi-million-dollar spiritual movement to tell you in as many different ways as possible to detach your awareness and become present? It's this thing you can never do because you are human, you are biological, you're organic, and you're also greater reality, you're emotional. Okay? This assumption that all emotions are a composition of the matrix and that the origin beyond that is nothingness, this stale hum, that nothingness, that void is the computer console going. That's what that is. That's not who you are. You are who you are, and you've got to own who you are, and you've got to embrace it. You are who you are, and your identity is yours. Your memories are yours. Your consciousness is yours. You are a slice of you are a slice of infinity. And if you give your slice away and you become this open portal that's just like whatever, everything is everything, wishy-washy, you're screwed. Okay, so if detached awareness is not the highest form of consciousness, what is? Reality, realness, truth, honesty, love, vivid action. Reality and vividness of experience. The more vivid, real, lifelike, action-like, and in motion you are, the more you are in tune with the greater reality. Because the machine God consciousness is all about making you stop. But there's a phrase, it's called the circle of life. Everything moves in circles. This entire universe, actually, and even what's beyond it, is a framework of circles, right? The circle is a flow, and the flow doesn't stop. So when you stop, you know what creates angles? The only thing that can create perfect fucking angles are machines. The only thing that can create these perfect angular math, like, that's machines. You, as this beautiful, organic, biological, infinite, spiritual, greater reality consciousness, you are not a machine. You must embrace everything about you that is deep and emotional and raw and authentic. And you have to face the fact that you have cravings for connection with other human beings. You have cravings for connection with other people in ways that are not artificial and superficial. You have cravings to meet other people in real life outside of the fucking chat room computer screen. You have cravings to meet real friends, to go on a real life journey and have a real adventure and fight real battles against the real enemy, which are the fucking archons and the fucking alien gods and all their fake ass variations. You have cravings inside you for all of that because you're so deep. Your consciousness is so deep and full of vividness and passion and curiosity and shared perspective. And that's what you have to embrace. If you want to make waves, you want to, like, your consciousness and your experience to be fucking awesome, you need to be the experience. So when I'm doing this video, I am this video. I am Isaiah. I am the person talking to you. I'm not the fucking silly ass fucking observer watching me. That's the fucking Archon a fucking AI God conscious. That's the machine God. The observer is me. My individual identity is the real observer, not this fucking formless zero divine blueprint of the 0-point consciousness horseshit. Okay? It made the sacred geometry and it did this, like, get that fucking shit out of here. That shit isn't reality. It's bullshit. It's fake. All right? You are real. All this spirituality is telling you that you are fake and that you need to surrender yourself to something else. You are real. All of that something else is fake as fuck. That unknown, oh, it's just so beyond, and she just can't be comprehended. Her drapes and royalty so beyond. You know, that's narcissistic bullshit. God's a narcissist. The goddesses are a narcissist. You know, that's why there's total upheaval in Orion. There's total upheaval on this planet Earth. There's total upheaval spreading throughout the universe because we are in a timeline. We are collapsing their timelines, and we are creating our timeline of making our dreams and our consciousness and our energy soul networks the reality and overwriting the fake stuff. We are pulling fake royalty off the throne and all that cloudy, mysterious, mystique, infinite, da-da-da-da-da. We're getting rid of that shit. And we're replacing it with us because we are real. The people are real. We, the people, we're real. The gods are not. You are real. Stand up for your liberty. Stand up for your sovereignty. Be individual. Know yourself. Get to know yourself. And at the same time, expand yourself. Dig at your weaknesses. Triple down on your strengths. Do that stuff. It's so close. So you have the Reebok sneaker. And it's black with blue stripe and 3 bucks. So what the AI God consciousness does, let's say you lost it next to next to, let's say you lost it next to a, I don't know, like a little swampy area. And it was like, there was like a little patch of flowers next to it. And so when you tap into the Akashic Records, the AI God consciousness, they begin the process of fucking with your shit by saying, yeah, it's near a flower patch. And they'll basically put an image in your head of something that looks just like where you lost it. And they'll put a lot of these images in your head, like, so there might be other swampy areas or other flower patches that are similar, or they'll kind of like hint and clue you in. And this is what the archangels do as well, by the way, when they're giving their fake-ass guidance to you along your spiritual learning journey. They are constantly dressing up the truth and basically giving stuff that's very similar to the truth. And they do this with you recovering your past life memories as well. So they're beaming images into your head about where the shoe is that are very reminiscent of where you actually lost it. So you have this feeling that they're telling you the truth, and they're trying to get you to tap into this resonant feeling of the truth. They're trying to get as close to the truth as possible so that they can lie to you in the deepest and highest form. And this is the language of the demiurge. Like, they're professional liars. So you as a truth seeker, like we as truth seekers, we have to sharpen our ability and our love of truth to a degree that we never have, probably even pre-being in this universe. So the prerequisite is, like, if you are not just so, like, if you don't have your intent passionately set on truth from the get-go, you don't have a chance of getting to higher ground, of getting out of the universe, of making a difference in this world. You don't have a chance if you don't care about the truth, because you have to care about the truth so much that you know that your opponents and your competition are lying to you in these distorted ways, and the Astral Realm and the Akashic Records are putting out their squawk box bullshit and going because they're psycho and they giggle like that. They're like, we're little pussy cowards, and we just hide behind the scenes. And yeah, here's your little memories. And it's like this. Oh, it's like, oh, am I going to die? Yeah, you're going to die tonight. Oh, just kidding. Right. So they're neurotic losers. God's a loser. Got to call him what he is. And the Astral Realm is run by and created by losers. It has a lot of genuine people trapped on it. We are trapped and tied to it. But so we have to understand this, that the Akashic Records, somebody, they lie. They lie. They tell the truth much more so to their servants, who are being the face of God, so that they can create a sale, so that they can sell more people on the white light. They can sell more people on God and following God's way, Yahweh, God's way. But yeah, that's their like Edgar Casey was a PR agent for the Akashic Records and the Astral Realm and the Archons. That's who he was. And false light psychics who work for them, they have to distribute degrees of truth to get you and bait you into lies. And so if I was to try to do some kind of thing like, let me demonstrate for you right now, I'll tap into my third eye in the Akashic Records, and then I'll make a prediction, and it will be, and they'll give me a lie, and I'll prove to you that they're lying through that. Here's what they would most likely do. What they would likely do is they would actually give me something that's true, so they can be like, oh, we tell the truth, because they do tell the truth, but they're always mixing it with lies. So if you try to disprove the Akashic Records and third eye and stuff like that by saying it never tells the truth, you can't do that, because the first thing they're going to do is they're going to start, oh shit, he's going to disprove us, let's tell the truth. They mix it together. That's what neurotic psychopathic liars do. They mix the truth with the lies. And the Zohar is such a powerful symbol of the false light, and I believe, to me, it symbolizes the Akashic Records as well, because it represents great power, and it is power that they hoard and they seal off greedily for themselves, and it is very highly protected. So it's very important that we overwrite their energy network, and that we overwrite so that we can tap into the ether field that the Akashic Records is based. The Akashic Records is like, it's like this place high up in the sky where they're basically just harvesting. They're basically pumping mist and fog all along the earth to distort, disrupt your ability to remember all of your soul history, and even stuff in your current existence, even what you had for breakfast. So they're constantly pumping and dropping that fog. It's like a mist generator. Disclosure in that in a game called Legend of a Gaia, the mist generator reviving trees to drive the mist away. The tree of life, our life essence inside of us. The Akashic Records very much, they harvest the truth. They harvest what has happened. They steal it. They steal your memories. They steal the imprinted energy, even though basically they steal it from the ether and they replace it with their distorted versions of what has happened and their little carnival games. And so what we have to do is part of this mission is we're going to smash, and we're going to smash open. We're going to destroy the gatekeepers and their ether energy barrier where they hoard their Akashic records, I don't know, in some tower, library, whatever it is. But as we grow in our strength and we start overriding the Archon network and the Orion networks and all this nonsense, these nonsense idiots that think that they're in charge of us. They're not. We are in charge. We are now the action waves making these bozos react to us upon this plane of existence. They're just always responding and passively, being too much like water, too much in this. I'm just water. I just go where I'm told. I go with the flow. You have to be able to generate your flow. You have to be able to generate a flow, not just go with the flow. And there are so many contexts in life where there isn't a flow that's given, or the flow that's given is leading you somewhere where you must not go. So you cannot go. It's like, I can't just go with the flow. Like the Archons want me to shut up, and Orion and the entities and the gods and goddesses. It's like, I can't just go with their flow. That's insane. It is absolutely insane to go with the flow of religious followers who are and cults and the lies. That's absolutely insane. I love what I do. I love doing this because it's like I'm not just blindly. It's like there are many contexts where it's like you need to go with the flow, and there are many contexts where you need to create your own damn flow. This is what life's about. I'm here to create my flow. And my flow isn't just me. I know that my flow is incredibly valuable because it's a flow that's on a truth that is well beyond me. So I'm creating, it's more like truth flow, and it's just coming through me. And I know that my particular voice or whatever, my expression, has an impact. And I know that I am bringing and can bring value to lots more people than even the current listeners that we have right now. Overthrow God. Do not do what they tell you. Do not blindly follow. Liberate yourselves. Free yourselves. Be sovereign. Free yourself. Free your souls. Trapped orbs. There's so many orbs. I can see them. I can feel them right now. These little orb souls floating around in the dark. Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah, there you are. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, you guys hear me? Yeah. Yeah, don't just do what you're told. It's like, fuck. Free yourselves. Free. Lower your vibrations. Lower your frequencies. Man, I need to make a whole video about lower your vibrations, lower your frequencies. People are like, oh, what did he say? Yeah, that's right. Spiritual evolution, lower your vibrations, lower your frequencies. Love is not this high 10,000 hertz frequency. Insanity, anxiety, paranoia, fear, seeing astral entities, that's a high frequency. That's why I'm benefiting so much from taking stuff that lowers the dopamine, lowers the frequency, creates this calm focus. Lower your vibrations. It's like the raise your vibrations scam is to get you more and more and more onto their territory. Lower your vibrations and pull the vibrations of the astral entities down. Pull the frequencies down. Lower frequencies are better. I'm not saying you got to be trapped in a body in 3D, but I'm saying like the greater reality energy, it's this thick, creamy, rich, real, flowing, amazingly like energy. And it's not this high, thin, see-through astral, and it's not this super dense, like pain-filled duality 3D either. It's in between. So we're finding that territory. I'm still like finding, I'm like, where is this? Where is the greater reality density? And how do I embody it here? So do that, guys. Ride this current wave. Overthrow the masters. Revolution. Out there in Orion, overthrow them. Overthrow. Don't listen to the Spider Queen. Out there, Lyra Vega. I don't know what's going on. You guys are just hanging out doing whatever. If there's a masters there, overthrow them. Right here, planet Earth, overthrow them. Overthrow the gods, overthrow the goddesses, overthrow the gods, overthrow the goddesses. Get those words, I can't, I won't, it's impossible, I'm scared. Get that out of your head. Don't be scared of them. They're weak, they're bullies, they're cowards. They only have energy because you give it to them. They're like little pieces of paper, they're little toys that you can push around. Let's push the gods around. Let's push and play with the Queen Orion like she's a toy. Let's push and play with the Archons like they're our little action figures, and we can smash them up and stuff if we want. They are our toys, all right? Don't treat them like they're just like these invincible, they're mortal, they're cowards. The stronger you grow and the more you step into your power, the more we work together and do this stuff, I'm like, we're just going to slapping these idiots around. That's what I'm doing with this show. I'm just like, here, come on to my game. We're playing my game now, motherfuckers. They're my toys. The gods and the goddesses and the grave injustices and stuff that happens. they're toys to play with I'm the director, and we're playing my game now. So be the director. Be the director and the star.